Getting more signs. Hi, this is Doug, Barefoot Adventure, and this is day 44 of my 1,000-day adventure. Let me straighten my collar here. It'll look good. 1,000-day adventure. And yeah, it's turning out to be an adventure. I didn't think it was going to be going this way. So, I have this little board here. I had this written, and it says, is the universe giving me a message? And what's fascinating is yesterday and today they've been coming like crazy, and I just got another one right before I turned this camera on. So what's going on? I've been thinking about this, how to make these videos, how to do this, and I'm thinking about a guy who Ray's or something, a young gentleman down Southern California. He made some videos, and he got real. It was about how he wanted to go, get things going in his life. He went down to somewhere Santa Barbara or someplace like that, and was living in his car, working at McDonald's, but he was filming everything he was doing, and he was being real. Now it's 2.5, 3 years later, and the guy is making a living off just doing videos. He showed all of the hustle that he did in the meantime. The point is, now there's so many people watching him. Part of it is because he's talking about how to make money, yet he was real. And that's what's fascinating, down to showing himself sleeping in a car with just a little blanket over the top of him. And I think it's because it resonates with people. And that's why I was watching it, was resonating with him. So where am I? I got to thinking about it. I was making these videos before I started posting them, and I was using the videos as a coaching tool for myself to just keep track of what was going, and it really helped, and I liked doing it. And so I got to thinking, maybe if I be real and start sharing these things, maybe that will start resonating with people. Because it is a fascinating story of what's happening right now. And so what is happening? Let me just put it out here. Where are we at? 2 minutes, 43 seconds. That's okay. I've been working here on a horse ranch for 4 years, just over 4 years now. And the job, it's strenuous to do it. It takes me about 2.5, 3 hours in the morning. I can get it done faster than anyone else. I'm good at what I do. My boss tells everyone that comes here that I'm great. I haven't missed a single day of work in 4 years. And when I had to take a week off to get eye surgery, I paid them for my days off. They will say it, and I will say it. I'm a good worker. My time here, what I have been doing, since all I do is work in the morning and a little bit in the afternoon, and just because of the way it is, I stay on this ranch, and it's a beautiful ranch. It's just out here in nature. I have things to myself. It has been an amazing place for me to go spiritually. I have been doing meditating, chanting, reading, just so many different things to go inside myself and discover myself, discover my spirituality, and my beliefs. And while I'm a long ways from where I want to be, it was back, about the beginning of October, in September, where I had this feeling of, okay, a chapter is closing as far as a spiritual journey. My time here, all that I can learn here, is past. And I knew it, and I felt something else was coming. Yet, because of the situation, over 4 years, I had grown into a pattern. This has become comfortable, even though I'm not making virtually no money at all, and I can't go anywhere. I had found a comfort zone. I had a roof over my head, food, and everything. And so it was so hard to break out. And there were some other things going on. When my father passed away, I had a feeling that, okay, when everything wraps up, and the day that it wraps up, that's when I'm going to feel this relief. And that happened, and that was also right around in October, the 1st of October. A lot of stuff happened there. And when that happened, I made a decision. Because coming up to that time, I was making a decision of what I wanted to do in life. And what I wanted to do, incidentally, was against what my father always wanted me to do. And that was coaching and training. He liked it better that I was a blue-collar worker, steady work. You know, he just couldn't see this coaching. So the weird part about, and you talk to many men, we always try to please their father. And so because of that, I pulled away from coaching. I wouldn't do it. Even though it was what I loved doing. I loved training, I loved teaching, I loved doing that stuff. So after my father passed away and up till this time, you know, where I was waiting and I knew I had to make a decision, I was going, okay, I'm going to get back into coaching. And what I was going to do was I have this travel, not this one here, but I have another smaller travel trailer. I was getting fixed up, and I had made a decision. I was going to take a trip up to Alaska, just videotape it, try using that for YouTube to get attention to what I was doing, and then come back down and, you know, find a place to get situated, get a job, get going as I build everything up. Well, then what happened was on October 5th, that whole strange thing, and if you go back to one of my earlier videos on the Kundalini Awakening, and then meeting that woman, my whole world turned around. And I thought I was supposed to go this one direction, because what happened on the 5th is I went up to that bridge where I was going to commit suicide 7 years ago, just to make a video kind of like, look where I am now. And I was going to make the video of, I am going to go back into coaching. And there was just a side message of one of the things about this is, and I pointed, there was a little tab to on my website, just a single link to suicide that people can go. And the whole idea is I'm going to make videos, come see my coaching, come see my program, and if by chance, by coming continually see my blog and my videos, you see the suicide thing, maybe I could help someone. Well, by meeting that woman, and something else that came around by seeing on the bridge, it blew up into Burner Strong. Well, now what's happening is Burner Strong could have been the greatest marketing tool to bring people to recognize the website for suicide prevention. And I say marketing tool because you got to get people to recognize the website, the name, if you're going to be helping people. And it was going to be all free. And the timing was right. The theme was right. Yet, things started happening that was just, okay, and just I was running into roadblocks. Different people weren't getting back to me. People that said that they were going to help me with this project within the Burning Man community weren't getting back. They said they were, but they were getting busy, and they, you know, I could see genuinely they were off busy doing stuff, and it wasn't working. And then finally this thing happened where Burning Man themselves came out with this thing about a modification, or they don't want anyone making any money off Burning Man. And even though Burner Strong is not going to infringe on Burning Man whatsoever, it lightly skirts along, and it's totally within the guidelines. Yet people are jumping on this thing like it's a cult, and they're just going after all of these people who, you know, used Burning Man as a platform to make money. And while, you know, I can understand and agree with it, the way they're going after it is just so, wow, I don't know if I want to even get involved in it. So I was thinking about it today, and I looked up, and there was my sign. The thing is, I've also been trying to get other people on the board, and everyone's busy, or, you know, one person who wanted realized they couldn't be on the board because they were already on another board. And it's just resistance, resistance, resistance. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is supposed to be easy. So I just took a breath, and I says, all right, let's just put it aside. And I even erased it on my board, and I had it on my screensaver, and I took it off of there. And I moved up Barefoot Adventure up to where Burner Strong was on my screensaver, and I just looked at it, and it felt better. I still have that button on my coaching page. I can go back to Burner Strong. Yet what I'm realizing now with all of this other stuff that's going on right now with the ranch, because what's happened on the ranch now is for some reason they want me to leave. And it doesn't make sense. The other person that works on the ranch here, he doesn't get why they're doing it. He thinks they're crazy. I'm going, is the universe giving me a message? And I truly believe it is. Because I need to move on. I gotta move out of here and go somewhere else. But what's happening and where the beauty of all this is coming into play with everything I've been doing is, if it wasn't for the trailer, I'd be leaving here and, in a sense, be homeless. I have a little bit of savings where I could go get an apartment and just go get a job. Yet that's going to lead me into a cycle, a never-ending cycle where you can't get out, and where do you go? How do you do it? I was sitting here thinking about that. I was thinking, going to Alaska. Just get the trailer going, do that. When do I move? Where do I go? Okay, what happens the day I leave here? Where do I go? And even just doing that, I can feel the tightness in my chest. And that's what was happening yesterday. And so every time I would do it, I was out with a friend, and she would look over and she would see me and she'd go, "You okay?" And yeah, I'm just working through. And I just take a breath like I'm doing now, and I just relax and let it flow away. Which is what I'm doing right now. And the beauty of this comes into play with all of the stuff I've been doing for these 4 years, and actually 7 years, because there was 3 years in Vegas where I was doing Reiki and other extreme forms of spirituality. Which is something else that came up. And so all of that stuff came into play to where I could just stop yesterday, where normally I'd get worked up. I did a video 7 years ago, right after I tried to commit suicide, where, I was just a nervous wreck because I let the drama build and I went into depression and all of that. And now I can recognize it so fast and shut it down. Yet with all of the stuff and everything I got to do, raise it up and I just relax. And now what's happening is I'm doing Course in Miracles, and I'm looking over, and today's course is, God is the strength in which I trust. And with the Course and what I study and learn, God is not Bible God, He, or whatever, even though Course in Miracles calls He. For me, what I call it is my true inner strength, which comes from everything and all, because I didn't create everything. I am a creator. And so I listen to that inner strength which says I can do it. And the Course in Miracles says my ego is all of that stuff. It goes, what do I do? How do I do it? What do I do? And so this thing is God is the strength in which I trust means all of that stuff in me. I trust myself that I can make this happen. I'm not going to listen to the weaker side of me. And then, when I was starting here, I made a comment to, is the universe giving me a message? Because what happened right before I did this, I was looking up, and what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to go back in, and I'm going to start making videos about Yumiki. Because I was going to do Yumiki for Burner Strong. I want to give away Yumiki, just the free course. Yet if you want to learn about it, and really learn with me, that's where I can make my money in coaching and training. Part of what I do also is called extreme spirituality. I learned it from my Firewalk teacher, and he actually had a book written on it, and he had a domain and website about it. I use some of that stuff, which is Firewalk, glass walking, and all of that. I have another way of extreme spirituality, which can really freak people out. And in some ways, it's more of an extreme spirituality than any of the glass walking, fire walking, or any of that stuff. And so tonight I was sitting here going, okay, I don't want to go, I'm going to do Yumiki. I know exactly what it is. It's so clear, so crystal cut clear of what it should be, and I want to create it. How about if I just take a couple months to go in my trailer and create this. But for some reason, something else came up with this extreme spirituality. Wow. It would be so cool to do something within YumiKey of extreme spirituality. Because I am going to show the glass walk in YumiKey because it's an amazing, beautiful tool. And I have another extreme spirituality. And so I thought, why not go check? Let's just go check and see if the domain is there. And then I went, is the universe giving me a message? And I go, okay, if it's there, I'm going to grab it. There's a sign. And so I went, and he let it go. And I now have extremespirituality.com. And I don't know if I'm going to do anything. I just got it because, all right, I'm going through this Wim Hof method, and that guy's extreme, and people gravitate to him because of his stuff, and some of the stuff he does is really extreme. Yet I've done some very extreme things, and some of the practices and the way I think is extreme. So yeah, this is going to be fun. And right as I was sitting here to do the camera and to start, I went, okay, and I looked over to my screen and I went, today's lesson for the Course in Miracles, I'll talk about it, is God is the strength in which I trust. And I go, and tomorrow the lesson has to do with, then there is no fear. And I went, wait a minute. The whole thing around firewalking is there is no fear. My firewalks teacher said, fear, false evidence appearing real. Oh, wait a minute. Extreme spirituality. The thing about fear, and I'll wrap this up here. Tomorrow, it'll be day 43. And I'm looking over there because I've been doing a countdown to when, it was originally to when I should be ready before I was to leave to Alaska. But I put off my plans. And so now it's just, let's be ready to get going and do something. It was supposed to be Burner Strong on April 1st. Now it's, okay, I want to be ready to leave if I can get them to let me stay here. And that will be tomorrow. It would be 43 days. Tomorrow would be 43 days of making videos. And tomorrow's Course in Miracles will be, and it's something else, but it's basically, there is no fear. All of these things line up on this day, which is, you're almost there. It's 11 o'clock, I got to get this video in for the day. Yet I find it fascinating that all these things line up on the day of, let's really rock and roll this. On day 43 of getting going, on day 43 of getting my videos going, on the day of there is no fear. So let's create my dream, let's create my adventure. And guy, this has only been 42 days of making videos. And I'm already getting ready to go, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be taking off for about a month or two and just doing some traveling and creating YumiKey, and not doing it here in this trailer, actually getting out to where I was wanting to do that. So yeah, the universe is giving me a sign. Get out there, let's start living, let's start doing, let's start creating. And I will be doing stuff for suicide prevention. So that's it for now. Take care, and we'll see you tomorrow on day 43.